Lack of humility keeps people from ever witnessing that Orthodoxy actually has all the answers.
What is the language? What's the line behind that? I need to do something to my body to alter it because they're worried about me getting them sick.
What is leading people to want to participate in these transhumanist agendas, whether they're conscious of it or not, is to keep up with the times.
This idea that I need to save this mass of people or do whatever, there's a fundamental undermining of God's control and providence in that. You can't love people until you get out of the eye.
It's so funny for both of us how this quest for knowledge I've talked about, and I talk with people one-on-one getting into Orthodoxy, and just how consistent it is that out of all the different ages, different genders of people, but when they come to Orthodoxy, it's this insatiable appetite for what is true and your willingness to self-correct.
Yes.
And so that lack of humility keeps people from ever witnessing that Orthodoxy actually has all the answers. So that Gnostic, apatheotic desire to become God, well, that's just a false understanding of theosis. This idea that I'm going to cleanse my third eye, well, that's just a false understanding of the nous.
That's right.
That's
right. That's exactly
it's like
it.
Orthodoxy has everything. And the occult provides you all these understandings of energy and the kundalini, but that's just a false understanding of God's uncreated energies. Right. And when I talk to these people who become Orthodox, the consistent thing is that they never stopped wanting to know what is true. And maybe you can speak then a little bit to our concept of nous, and how when we look at the state of the world now, that without the Orthodox doctrine of nous, it wouldn't make any sense why no matter what your education level is, it seems like certain people can see exactly what's going on. You may have a 75, 80 IQ, but you get it. You already know. Right. You already know what's going on in the world because of the sincerity, because of the morals, because of the ways in which you live your life. And then we look at all the intelligentsia of our society, and they're totally in lockstep with all this stuff.
I got to be honest with you, and again, I know it's going to be boorish to many people, but I hope to you and others, it'll just be me being consistent, right? But it gets back to humility. Yeah. Because the people, I've tried with the brothers here and, talking with free people. That's how, free folk, what I'm talking about? Like, we're trying to understand, like, why is it that some people have fallen headlong into the spell? And why some people, because it isn't, and what you're saying, that's part of it in regards of like morals, but like not really, because I've known some people who they saw through the spell and they're not moral. I mean, there's a lot of cats who, in the political arena of things, and they are not moral in a true Christian sense of it. What is it? I think what it is I think there's a measure of humility, or let's say a lack of vanity, insofar as this is what I think is what I have found consistent. They're able to understand this concept of not fitting into the world and not caring. If you're following what I'm saying, they're able at some point in their lives to say, not everything that the world says is correct or right. More importantly, I have experienced, right, whoever this person is, I've experienced, like, I don't need to like get the affirmation of people, political correctness, these things. The people that I found that have been somewhat, to whatever degree, looked through the spell. This is the thing I've seen consistent, because I've known people who are, hedonists, man. You know what I mean? Like, but they see through it. So I go, this idea of, to some degree, some measure of not needing to see yourself plugged into, the kind of schema of the world, not looking to look like everyone else, to whatever degree that is. I think that is the thing that kind of dispels what's happening for people. A greater denominator of people, I think, are able to see through it because of that. Because you said to yourself, everyone else, it's about this lockstep. Yeah. And the thing that I've noticed is I've talked to enough people now who they can question. they can question the numbers. I mean, only someone who's lying to themselves couldn't question the numbers and the data, right?
Right.
But the thing they can't do is they can't seem to break from the lockstep narrative of the world. Like, right? I've known, and God help them, brothers who I've had to part ways with them. The key thing is like, I don't want to look foolish. And I hate the Orthodox Church looking backwards. It's this idea,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And you see this, like you see the line because generally speaking, there's always exceptions, but generally speaking, the people who have fallen for it, these are the people who want the church to look sophisticated, who want the church to look like she's up on the times,
Yes.
The people who are like, no, it's the academic versus, and I hate to do this because I don't want to insert a false dichotomy, but just for the sake of kind of expediency to try to get this broader concept, the academic against, let's say, the ascetic or the elder. Are you following me?
Yes. Because worldly knowledge versus spiritual wisdom.
And that's because the elder, these people who have fallen for it, they're the ones who tend to be like, well, Orthodoxy needs to move past this kind of superstitious country priest backwards perspective, right? We need to kind of catch up with the times. And this plays into all of the constructs of politics being politically correct and don't want the church to seem like we're on the wrong side of history, all this nonsense.
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes. No, and I wanted to continue on this line. I think you made an excellent point when you talk about this keeping up with the times and how, again, getting back to this larger occultic spell, this is all moving towards transhumanism. This has been discussed for a long time in regard to these hopes in science fiction books throughout the 50s and the 60s. And so now you see this setting of this full destruction of what God creates for this new amalgamation, this new distorted creation of what man is and the image of this occultic spell. And so what is leading people to want to participate in these transhumanist agendas, whether they're conscious of it or not, is to keep up with the times. This idea that they want to make sure that they're up to date it's like the lure, it's the carrot in front of the donkey that is bringing people into a place where they are willingly killing themselves. They are willingly destroying the image of God in them. As you said, maybe you can't fully do that, but to the greatest degree that they can. It seems like they are luring people into destroying the divine image within themselves to keep up with the times, to keep up with this concept of being, really, it's like a global citizen.
I mean, forgive me, but I try to always look at things as to kind of like the lower common denominator as possible. Because in my mind, if my child or somebody in the neighborhood where I'm at who has no concept, if they can't get it, then I'm doing something wrong, right?
Right.
So I brought up my daughter earlier about Harry Potter.
Yes.
Do you think my daughter cares really about Harry Potter? Do you think she really cares or wants to experience the literary genius of J.K. Rowling? She doesn't care. She doesn't even know.
Right.
What was she concerned about? Right. I'm not
friends.
Exactly.
Being like her friends.
She's concerned about her friends. Right.
Yeah.
And she said as much. Right.
Mm-hmm.
These people, look, you tell me I need to do something to my body. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You say I need to do something I need to alter my body some way. Well, what is the language? What's the line behind that? I need to do something to my body to alter it because they're worried about me getting them sick. Are you following me?
Yes.
Are you following me?
Yes.
Okay. But when I say to someone, hey, man, you really should, if someone will listen, I'll tell them you really should question altering your body, code word, right? Because it could harm you.
Right.
I don't say to someone, hey, don't do that because I don't want whatever. I say that to someone because I care about you.
Right.
If you do this, this thing could harm you, and I think it will harm you. Do you see the
Yes.
difference?
Yeah, it's by that desire to participate. It's like this false kind of love. We were talking about love, humility, and like true friendship, true love. You know, orthodoxy. One of the greatest things that I read from Schmemann is I loved how he talked about all these uncreated energies of God require an other. You can't love abstract ideas. You know, I love humanity. I love social justice. No, you can only love a person.
That's
You
it.
can only show
That's
mercy
it.
and compassion to another person.
That's it.
And so like this new global understanding of even medical procedures now being dependent on not maybe a more sophisticated understanding of health or longevity. It's about participating in this global citizenry and this like distorted occultic idea of love. It's
Well,
like
remember this.
Go ahead.
Judas loved, quote unquote, he didn't love anything. Judas cared about the poor. Why are you wasting that spikenard? That could be sold for the poor,
Yes.
the general poor.
Yeah, the abstraction.
The abstraction. But Christ was like, no, she,
Yes.
her. I know her, right?
Personhood. Yes.
Personhood. You see that,
Yes.
right?
Great
And that's
point.
how it always is, and that's how you can suss out these things, right? That's why, you know, anytime you move into this kind of general thing, right? And it's something that it's subtle and it's seductive.
It's so
right?
subtle. It's so subtle. And that's where I think so many people get lost in it. And if you take orthodoxy seriously and really start to, it again, the noose clears, your eyes, the veils, everything that we've been talking about, you can start to see it all.
Because
connect.
forgive me, this is getting good. I just want to share this, right? Because when that veil's removed, when your true eye begins to see, then you begin to see that God's in control.
Yes.
Like this idea that I need to save this mass of people or do whatever, there's a fundamental undermining of God's control and providence in that. Do you see where I'm going with that?
Yeah. Major distinction here between then again God's will and the occultic worship of my will.
Yeah. And so when you begin to open up, when your noose is opened up and cleansed, you start moving away from abstractions. You start moving into love of persons.
Yes.
Right. And you can't love people until you get out of the I. You have to get into the we.